to Foundation Focus. I'm Tom Jones. During our last program, our guest was Candace Stone, who is the project coordinator for the Night of the Stars event. And the Night of the Stars celebration is the opportunity for the school district to celebrate the excellence in its staff. And Candace gave us a sneak peek as to how the program would unfold. And in this segment, we're really privileged to meet the 2016 and 2017 winners. And first, we're going to meet Mr. Charles Pilson, who was the 2016 School-Related Employee of the Year. Welcome, Mr. Pilson.
Thank you.
And I'd also like to welcome Eddie Robinson, who was the 2016 Distinguished Minority Educator of the Year, and welcome to the program. I'm not sure if it's the first time, but both of you are from Manatee, K through 8. And and I'm not sure if it's the first time ever that we've had two winners from the same school, but there's something good going on at Manatee, so thank you for being here. First of all, I think we would all the audience probably hasn't seen the actual celebration, but I think all of you would say that it was an amazing night. And what I'd like to do is just step back a little bit, and if you could both just give me a little bit of background as to the process that unfolded over the last several months that culminated in both of you being recognized. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Pilson.
Sure.
Kind of just give us some background.
The first thing that happens at our school is that we have a ballot that goes around that enables everybody to put in names for people that they would like to be recognized for their category. It comes down to 3 people in each one. Once that happens, the school then votes on one of the people out of the 3 to nominate somebody to go on to the district.
Okay, now who's actually filling the ballots out? Is it all your peers?
Yes, all the peers in the school are doing it.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
And you don't really know, right?
No.
People are just doing this independently.
You only find out who's actually filling out the ballots at the end. You have the top 3 people in the category, and then usually your administration sends out that your peers have voted for these top 3 people, and now we're going to have another vote, and then maybe a couple of days later after they vote, they announce who's going to represent the school.
Okay, I see.
The
Okay.
district.
And then so there are finalists then, correct?
Yeah,
right.
That's
Finalists.
Right.
And I think that's the point where the superintendent gets involved in it, and there's an entourage that kind of meets some of the people. Or was that a little bit later in the program? Because I was part of that. I was actually meeting the finalists at some of these events.
Well, that does take place, but it happens with the more so with your teacher of the year and your school-related employee.
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. Very good. So now what happens is your name is a nomination. You're one of the finalists, correct?
Right.
And then it all culminates in the Night of the Stars celebration, which, as of this program, just took place last Saturday.
Right.
And it's actually my first time that I was ever at this event, and I was just astounded. Okay, it was really phenomenal. It's actually patterned after the Academy Awards. So there's actually literally a red carpet.
Right.
Everyone's dressed in their finest.
Right.
And there's a VIP reception that's early on. I know there's a lot of photographs being taken and all of that. And then we hear the orchestra starts, and it's and the lights dim, and we all go in. So it was a great evening. Mr. Robinson, I'll just start with you. Just wanted to ask a couple of questions. We'll just have a little conversation here. Tell me what you do at the school.
Well, at Manatee Academy K-8, I am the Dean of Conduct Behavior. I teach students new behavior techniques, as well as I motivate them to use positive behavior techniques academically and in their personal lives as well, so they are successful.
Now, is this something that you have been doing for a while at the school?
Well, this year marks my 6th year at Manatee Academy.
Oh, okay.
And the end of this year I'll be starting my 7th year in this job capacity, but this is my 10th year in the district.
Now, is this a category that you had to go to school for? Is there a specific studies that you had taken?
Well, there are a few courses I've taken. I started out the district as a in-school suspension monitor about 10 years ago.
Oh, okay, all right.
And in that job capacity, I really enjoyed working with students that had a few behavior issues and seeing when they notice that someone believes in them or someone sees something good of them, the change that they will make. So I started studying behaviors and trying to better myself to understand why these different behaviors happen and what can I do to change some of these behaviors so that they are successful, not only in school but in life.
Right, okay, so it's really a life learning experience as well.
Yes,
as you
yes,
said.
it is.
Okay, that's terrific. What is critical to you in your job? If I, as an outsider, would ask you, if things are going well, what do you see that really goes well? I mean, what do you like to see?
Well, I like to see when I walk around the campus to see students engaged in the classroom. When I see the students engage in the lesson, they're engaged with their teacher and their peers, then that's a sign that everything's going well. And in the event that it's not happening, it's my job to try and help to work with the teacher to try and make that happen.
So it's a real passion then.
Yes, it is.
And if you were to think through, what is the one thing that you would, what's the one footprint that you would like to leave? The one thing that you would like to leave, at the end of your career, saying that you really did well, and I'm just trying to dig a little bit.
I would have to say the one thing that I would like to leave, what it would have to be that for our students to believe in themselves. As a prodigy of St. Lucie County, I went to school here, and someone saw that in me. Oftentimes I always tell the story to our kids that when I was in the 10th grade, I was failing science, but I was captain of the varsity wrestling team. And I had a teacher by the name of Mr. Maurice Barner, and he came in and he kind of related everything to wrestling with me, and then he kind of believed in me. And that little knowing that someone else believed in me, someone else saw that I could actually do something, that's the legacy I want to leave. I want our kids to know that someone else believes in you. Someone else thinks that you can become successful.
That is very touching. One of the narratives that I started with the foundation, and I just started talking about this, is that our efforts is certainly a labor of love, but it starts with one child at a time.
Right.
And that's what it's all about. If we can reach out and touch one child and reach out and help one teacher, then we can help a classroom, and then we'll help the school, and then all the boats will rise with that tide. Well, there's no wonder that you have been nominated, and you're now the 2016 Distinguished Minority Educator of the Year. So congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And Mr. Robinson, you once again, congratulations. Can you tell us about your duties at Manatee? Mr. Pilson, correct?
Right.
Did I say Mr. Robinson?
Yes, you did.
I apologize,
That's okay.
Mr. Pilson.
That's okay. I feel honored with that. I am the Behavior Intervention Classroom Monitor.
Behavior intervention. All right, you got to tell me what that does.
Yeah. I basically have the students that are having problems behaving in a classroom, listening to the teacher, following directions, brought to me by the deans, and I work with them on their assignments. I make sure I keep them busy during the day.
Okay.
I keep them engaged. I help them in any way they can. I also speak to them about their behavior and try to help them correct their behavior, because we don't want, as a team from Manatee, to go back and have that student repeat their problems over and over again.
So you're actually interacting with the students during the class?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
I didn't realize
I have a
that.
classroom. Yes.
Okay, you have a classroom.
And
Okay.
the students come to me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
So both of you must work hand in
Yes.
glove,
Yes,
correct?
we do. Yes, we do.
That's terrific. It's
That's
a real
right.
team effort.
Yes, we do.
That's great. And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been at Manatee for 10 years. I've been the behavior classroom monitor for 5, and I was a sub for 5 years just at Manatee before then. Manatee is my home. Manatee is my team and my home.
That's terrific. The one thing I've noticed, and I've only been with the district for about 6 months, is that there's a lot of individuals that have been here a long period of time. There's a very stable core group of professionals. And what's really nice about that is that there's a real passion for our children.
Right.
And both of you really have it, so thank you very much.
Well, I came from an outside industry where there was no passion for anything. And once I got involved with the children, I saw the importance of their success. And for them to be able to turn around and say, thank you, Mr. Pilson, it's what really makes my day every day.
And at the end of the day for you, what's the footprint that you would like to leave?
I would like to know that each and every student that I touched has gone through their life to this point as a success, and that they can look back and say thank you to all teachers everywhere.
You know, I was reading recently that in the choice of where a lot of young people go in jobs when they graduate from school, is that the whole idea of going back into the school, into education, is coming a little bit less. It's more towards, you know, going into business and all. And I hope that doesn't continue, because we really need that balance in life.
Right.
We really need that balance. And the one thing that I've learned, and probably like you, I come from a business side, okay, and during my journey here, that I've learned that it really starts at the school level. It really does. And if we can all do well and focus on our children, then the graduation rates will grow. And then those students will graduate from school, either work ready or go on to college. And they'll come back to our community, they'll come back to our county, and they'll start raising their families. And it's, I was talking to Representative Larry Lee, and he calls it the village. You know, we have to take care, as a village, we need to take care of our children. We need to reach out to them all the time and nurture them. And so to see professionals like you that are dedicated and to reach the pinnacle of what you do and to be recognized for it, I think it's terrific, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me? You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
And now we welcome Mike Delafave from Weatherby Elementary School in Fort Pierce, our 2016 Outstanding First-Year Teacher. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.
And congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'd also like to welcome our 2017 Teacher of the Year, Mr. Jeffrey Johnson from Dale Casson Education Complex in Fort Pierce. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Glad to be here.
It's really a pleasure to meet both of you. And I'll just start the conversation. I want to make it as casual as possible, but I'll start the conversation with you, Mr. Delafave. Is this your first teaching assignment?
Yes, yeah. First year Teacher of the Year, and it is my first teaching assignment. Yes, it is.
And you graduated from school recently?
Yeah, I graduated from Florida Atlantic University. I got my bachelor's in elementary education.
Okay. So you knew early on that you wanted to teach as a passion for you?
That was my major. That was my passion, and I followed through with it, and it's working out so far.
Now, what guided you towards teaching?
Honestly, I'm not the biggest behind the desk guy. I mean, I can't sit still for 2 seconds. And kids, I always liked kids. When I lived in New Jersey, I worked at a place called the Little Gym, which is a gymnastics establishment for little kids. And once I got a taste of working with kids, I thought the next best thing was to be a teacher, and it worked out well. I was right.
So you placed your application with the school district, I guess, last year, and then you were...
Yeah, I actually did my practicum in Weatherby Elementary, and then I did my student teaching in Weatherby, and then I just was hired at Weatherby. So it all just worked. I really didn't even apply, really, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
you just moved right along, right?
Yeah, it was nice.
That's great. Now, what grade do you teach?
I actually teach 3rd grade.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a very formative year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
first year for FSA, all that good stuff. But I actually it's like a perfect medium for me. I think 3rd grade's a very nice grade. I like it.
I would say the 3rd grade, if a student doesn't read at the proficient level, they're going to have some real problems going forward. So that's a really critical time.
Yeah, third grade is definitely big, especially with all these big tests. I mean, if these guys don't have that third grade reading level up to par, then yeah, there definitely is some trouble.
Well, so far in your short career, what has been the one thing that happens or is happening that is really driving you forward? It really makes you feel good about your job.
Honestly, I work in a Title I school, and that's just my niche, and I love those kids, and just to see them be happy every day, and not only teach them education, but kind of just teach them how to live and how to, teach them life, and kind of do those teachable moments here and there.
Teachable
just
moments,
about,
there you go, yeah.
Yeah, just about life, and I love those moments are my favorite, and to be a really good role model is really, really my favorite thing to do.
Now, what is a Title I school? Can you tell the audience?
Title I is more of a economically low end of the spectrum.
Okay.
My school, personally, I think it's about 97% of my kids get free and reduced lunch.
Okay, all right.
High ESOL population, kids that might not necessarily have the best shot, as some might say, but I love it. It's amazing.
Well, that's great. One of the things that we do all the time at the Ed Foundation is we focus our programs on students that need help. We focus our programs on to help students read. We focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, as well as CTE, career and technical ed. So we're always trying to make sure that our students are moving up. We're also working to strengthen the scholarship program, and that program will focus on students that currently qualify for free or reduced lunches. So we're trying to focus on those same students. So keep them going, and when they get to the sophomore year, the foundation will be there to help them with a scholarship opportunity. Okay. So that's great. Let me just ask probably a hard question because you're a young man. But if you were to leave a footprint at the school, what's the footprint that you would want to be known for?
Probably the guy who's just, like I said, just that good role model. Especially a lot of my students, they really need that positive male role model. And that's really what I strive to be. Even just walking through the halls, I like to stop, say hello to kids, and just kind of be that male role model that a lot of them really need. And that's probably my footprint, someone to kind of look after.
That's terrific. Well, it's a journey. Okay, it's not a race, obviously, and it's one student at a time, and you've got it. So best of luck to you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It.
And Mr. Johnson, Teacher of the Year. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you
is
so much.
A terrific recognition. You and I don't know each other, but I was part of a little bit of the group that recognized you at your school, and you don't know this, but when you were in the limelight talking to all the bigwigs like Mr. Gent and all, I was standing in the back, and I was standing next to one of your students. And I said to him, what kind of teacher is he? He said, the best, the absolute best. And I'm looking at you going, this guy's got a shot at this, and I don't know, okay? I'm kind of new at this too, but it's really great. Tell us about your school, first of all.
I work at Del Cassens Education Complex in Fort Pierce on 11th Avenue. It is a premier institution of learning. We have students that have had challenges, both behaviorally, some cognitive challenges, and it is an opportunity for them to have a second, sometimes third chance at educational success, particularly in the K-12 arena. A lot of our students have been retained. Some of them, my particular students, are overage for grade. And we're working to get them back on track so that they can complete high school by the parameters of the student progression plan, which is prior to
so your students are kind of like off the path a little bit, and you want to bring them back.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's terrific.
Absolutely. We have a number of programs now. We have a 7th and 8th grade accelerated program, an 8-9 accelerated program. We also we provide educational services for pregnant and lactating women. We have a nursery on site.
Now, your students are what grade?
My students, they are 7th, 8th, 9th grade.
Oh, 7th, 8th, okay.
Actually, just right now, I just have 8th grade.
And you've been doing this for how long? Because I heard you had a career in the Navy, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've been in K-12 education now for just under 11 years, 10 and a half years.
Okay.
And this is my second complete year at Dale Cassens.
Okay, terrific.
I've found a niche there at Dale Cassens. The students are eager to want to do better. They receive encouragement well, as many of them don't get that. My principal, Ellen Harden, is, I think, one of the premier leaders in the county because she knows and understands autonomy. And she has the apt ability to see what your skill set is, point you, and then let you go. And then, the fortitude is that you don't want to let her down.
Right, yeah.
Because her heart is for those children, and we're a kindred spirit.
Well, she has to have a lot of confidence in you to do that because she's handing the children off to you, and there's a lot of confidence there. And I can tell just by the chatter at the district level that you are very loved. Everyone was thrilled that you were nominated and absolutely gleeful that you were the Teacher of the Year. Now, you might not think about this, but you have a seat on my board, okay? It's an honorary seat. I will tell you that it's not always filled, but I want to welcome you to at least the next board meeting and to have you have an opportunity to meet the board. The St. Lucie Ed Foundation has a volunteer board. It's made up of a combination of business leaders as well as district staff.
Yes.
And it's a good group. It's a labor of love. And one of the things that I started recently, and I'd like to come down to your school, just last week we visited Fort Pierce Central High School.
Yes, sir.
And I'm trying to get the board out into the field, okay? And we actually met the students and we met some of the programs that the foundation has funded over the years. But I wanted the board to actually see firsthand the impact of what their efforts are. And personally for me, if you focus on the younger years prior to high school, in those formative years, it's really important.
It is.
Really, and I think that you're at that sweet spot or at that point in time where children could go astray. And if they don't have that reach out, if they don't get the love, if they don't see the role model, that we might lose them. And I said this in the last segment, and some of my talking points are that, at least from my standpoint, that all of our efforts really start with one child at a time.
Right.
And I can see that in the work that both of you do. It's that passion that we have, and the impact, we don't know it sometimes, but the impact when we reach out to one child and give them that guidance or that love at that right moment, it makes all the difference.
Yes, sir.
And then when you save that one child and you help that one teacher, and then you really help a classroom, and then when you help the classroom, you help the district. And then we meet all those wonderful goals that we're trying to do, but it will come naturally, it'll just come out of that. And I had mentioned also before I was talking to Representative Larry Lee, who is, I would call a friend. And Larry and I were talking just a few weeks ago, and he said, Tom, it's all about the village. Mm-hmm. We are all in a village together. And what does a village do when someone's in trouble? They help them out. Mm-hmm. They help them out. They wrap around them. And he said, let's not lose sight of that. Our children are our most precious commodity. And if we can wrap around our children and give them the love, and here you two gentlemen are at the pinnacle of all of that hard work. So I just wanted to thank you very much and ask you, Mr. Johnson, to come back to the board, kind of help us be inspired, truly, okay, to do even more work. So thank you very much. Stay right there because I got a commercial to do, okay? What I want to do is just spend a few minutes thanking all of our sponsors. The Night of the Stars is a big event, and it's not possible without sponsors. So I want to thank Ken and Eileen Pruitt and family, who are big sponsors this year. AT&T, which is a big company, but they have a regional rep, Ian Cotner, who has been a very good friend of the foundation. So thank you, Ian, and thank you, AT&T. Publix Charities. Publix is a great business, and I reached out to Publix, and they wrote a check for us. The Florida Prepaid College Board. they provide prepaid scholarships for our children. They have a matching grant program, I found out. So I'm digging into that because if I can raise $4,000 for a child or student to go to IRSC for 2 years, they'll match that with $4,000, so we have all the money. So you guys are at the formative age. Bring those students up, and at the sophomore and junior and senior level, we'll bring them through the program, and hopefully we can give them a scholarship. Miller Insurance is a local agency in town. Herff Jones, which did the rings. Okay, they do that every year. Gold Coast Federal Credit Union, which we all know is part of our benefit packages. We have an opportunity to place some of our funds with Gold Coast. They're really good friends of the foundation. Starfall and Think Through Math and several others. So all of this is possible through sponsorships, but none of this is possible if it weren't for all of you. So congratulations.